I know that I don't look it, but I am so excited at the moment. This is like my dream pairing of the Fringe. So far, and it hasn't officially started yet, but Matt Price and Mad Ron. It doesn't get better than that, really. Nina and Frederick, Jerry and the Pacemakers, Matt Price and Mad Ron, or indeed, Mad Ron and Matt Price. What would the billing be in terms of criminal underworld?
I think we'd have to fight it out, wouldn't we, really? Just see what happened.
Yeah, almost certainly. I reckon probably Mad Ron.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you're only a hanger-on, at best.
I'm on the periphery. I'm a tourist of the criminal underworld.
A terrorist?
A tourist.
Or a tourist?
A tourist.
A tourist, thank you very much. No, we can't get into terrorism. That gets us into hideously sticky waters.
No, don't cancel me already. It hasn't even started yet.
So, I've known you just heard myself go very Glaswegian there. I don't know what happened. I've known you for a long, long time. And you've changed. I'm not saying that in an accusatory way, but no, just because you used to be one big shambling apology for yourself. Yes, you did.
Sorry about that. That's terrible. I actually watched your agent headbutt the wall then. I'm sorry. That's the best joke I'm going to do all afternoon. I'm so sorry, mate. Sorry, Adam, to bring you.
But you've come out of yourself. You've lost weight. You've gained confidence. You are kicking ass all over the comedy circuit.
Well, I have been for a very long time. It's just that
nobody else knew about it.
No one else knew about it. Edinburgh's a different beast altogether, isn't it? You know, doing a solo show is very different, and no matter what it says on the leaflet or whatever, you know, people come and see you, and it's just a very different thing. And I can never get my head around. I don't know what you think about this, about how audiences being so cold and not being able to even compare yourself on. You know, it's different on the circuit. You've got to compare. You walk out, you know, pick up the energy. You find out who the characters are. In Edinburgh, the banter seems to be slightly frowned upon, so it's difficult to kind of do the same thing. You know, there's this thing.
And you're a big banter guy.
It depends. If there's any to be had, yeah, I like it. But there isn't always. So it's almost like, you know, I've got my plan A, got my plan B, and then quickly you run out of letters of the alphabet. So, you know, I used to be very self-conscious, and now, I don't know, it's a different vibe. You just have to accept that an hour's a different kind of beast.
Yeah. Do you find that you can intimidate audiences into laughing, or what's your modus operandi?
I think if you can go on very hard-laced and really hard and deliver the material really aggressively, and that will, in fact, shut an audience down, especially early in the show. So it's got to be a bit lighter and a bit more flippant in the beginning of the show. But
with a name like Mad Ron, light and flippant don't seem to be...
Yeah, within reason, you know, it's within the bounds of the character, not totally.
So where did Ron come from?
So basically I wrote some material about how I felt tuition fees were wrong.
Okay.
Bear with me. And that if you robbed the post office and got away with it, you could pay for your tuition fees.
Quite right.
And if you got caught, you could still do a degree. So
I'm liking your way of thinking.
So that was the basis of it. And then I wrote it and then just read it out to some people in the writing course I was doing. And then somebody said, oh, that'd be good as a character. Then, of course, there's a resemblance to Phil Mitchell.
Indeed. I wasn't going to mention it.
I got in there before you did. But there's a resemblance to Phil Mitchell, and of course, I just did a Phil Mitchell impression, and the next thing you know, I've got a paid gig, I've got this and I've got that, and it's all sort of started to take off, really. So.
And did you have plans to be a wildly successful stand-up comic?
No, I didn't.
What did you have plans to be?
I just wanted to write.
Okay.
And I wrote and wrote and wrote, and nobody was interested in any of my stuff, and I didn't think my skills were good enough. So I did a writing course, and Logan Murray,
yeah,
he said to me, well, if you want validation for what you do, you need to go and perform it, because nobody's going to come and knock on your door.
Nice one, Logan. Good guy.
So he forced me to get back up on stage again. And yeah, so I did it, and it worked. And then literally I went on as Steve Lee, on stage as Steve Lee, came off as Mad Ron, because I said farewell, that's how it felt. So that's that's the basic story.
Fantastic. What happens as he ages?
Well,
I mean, is he
in
going to
terms
get
of-
massively successful as a criminal?
He walks the walk, but just
Doesn't talk the talk.
Doesn't talk the talk. No, definitely.
Does he even have a gun?
No. Everything was going on in the East End of London, but he lived in the West End of London, and it's kind of
That's death to your reputation for a start.
and it's just he wants it, but he's not prepared to move into that environment. So yeah.
Probably just as well for us all. Now, I know people who know you will know, but for the uninitiated,
Yes.
how did your arguably unhealthy obsession with criminals and criminality come about? Because you seem like such a nice bloke.
I am a really nice guy. I haven't apologised for a very long time, and I'm never going to do it again.
Okay, that's fine.
What I would say is that, do you want the serious answer?
No, but I would like something full of information, endearing,
Okay.
giving a hint of what you used to be,
Right.
but hilariously funny in terms of answering my question.
Okay, so
Go.
guys, give me a cheer on 3 if you okay, 2008, I was doing a package show, and halfway through the Fringe, I got a phone call from a contact in Glasgow saying to me, right, be at Buchanan Street bus station, and this person will give you a lift to meet someone who can help you and who can authorise a gangland execution.
What?
And I went. In 2008,
Why did you want
halfway through the Fringe.
Why did you want a gangland execution?
You know about my missus getting attacked.
Ah, yes.
And that is kind of serious, but what I would say, I'm from Cornwall, and Cornwall is so far away, it's not really compatible with anywhere.
No.
So,
I mean, even the accent says...
it's ridiculous. I've refined it. This is quite posh West Country, but, so I did that, and I spoke to an old-timer from Glasgow, and he was very kind. He drove me all around Glasgow, went to his house, spent 8 hours together. I've since spoken to numerous criminals on and off record, and one who did 10 years in jail said to me, "You thought you were a coward?" And I went, "Well, yeah, I did." He said, I don't know the guy." He said, "But I know the guy." He said, "There's nothing cowardly about that, mate." And so I went around just interviewing people for various reasons.
Yeah.
My missus, as you know, fantastic performer, used to interact with people, and she said, I always keep my promises to her. She said, "Don't take violent revenge." This sounds it's not hilarious, is it? But it doesn't have to be.
He's looking at his bloody manager. What the hell?
I'm not.
Well, your PR then.
I'm looking at that photo on the wall. It's very nice.
Oh, we're going to have a cutaway of the bloody photo on the wall now.
No, I'm not.
Look at Mad Ron. That's good. Just keep talking and look at Mad Ron.
Trigger me. No, I go to meet this. I go and meet this old guy, and he was very insightful and very useful and very helpful. And spent 8 hours together, and just interviewed loads and loads of people because I promised the missus after she was, don't forget, nearly kicked to death. That's not, that's not. If you want to be real about it. I mean, I want to be hilarious. I am. Come and see the show. Honestly, that's when I do my talking. Is when I do the show. She could have died.
Yep.
And it's very hard then. And then you're walking around carrying it all that time. All that time.
You are well known as a great club comic, as a great club compere, all the chatting to the front row and everything.
All that stuff, yeah.
Do you feel as comfortable doing that? Because this is storytelling stuff. Because I remember when you did it first, and you were petrified. Are you much more relaxed with it now?
Well, I am, because my expectations are different. because to be honest with you, in many ways, I have nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. Honestly, what do I have to lose? The ideal scenario is I tell a great story that people are going to love, and they laugh all the way through, and they get it, they tell their friends about it, they come and see the show. That's fantastic. The worst case scenario is nobody laughs.
And you're just another...
And it's a shame. It's horrible when that happens. It's horrible when you look at a room, and you'll know this anyway, right? You look at a room and you think, actually, I could make this explode if I did what I do. But then you'll get a review, not that reviews are everything, they do help though, that says, it's just club banter. So there's always that thing, it's like, I want to do Edinburgh, but I'm a comic, I want to play the room that I'm in, so it's difficult. And also as well, it seems a little bit inauthentic. If you're telling a story and you get halfway through, 25 minutes in, and you get the front row critics to go crowd surfing, I could get you to go crowd surfing in a room, I swear to God I could. That's going to be a bit weird. You probably enjoy it. Someone from a different publication would, you know, I'd enjoy it if they dropped you, but you know.
Yep, thank you very much.
First
Thank
joke,
you.
there we go.
Boom.
Mirror all week.
Boom.
No, but so it's about expectations. So
Yep.
I kind of like spinning a yarn.
Is it, I hesitate to use the word, easier when you have a character? Because it kind of gives you a get out of jail free, if you pardon the...
Well, there's advantages and disadvantages. It's much harder to write for, and especially in the style that I'm trying to deliver.
Really?
Yeah, much harder to write for. Okay. You've got to write, well...
I know you're not wrong. You're not even a bit mad?
Well, you need to see it, Kate, really, because it's very much one-linery.
Okay.
And because it's one-liner, it's chock full of jokes, chock full of jokes.
Real comedy.
It's brilliant.
Real comedy.
And, you know, well, Matt's got the story. Well, my motivation for Edinburgh is to get better as a comic. And there's a lot of material, there's a lot of stuff there that I think deserves an airing.
Yeah.
And if it works, it will go into the set for the autumn. But,
fantastic.
You know, that's...
No, I mean, I'm very sad that kind of snobbery in Edinburgh and the middle classness that has begun to take over means that, you know, it was just jokes. What do you mean it was just jokes? That's what comedy is. You know, first make you laugh or call it something else.
Yeah.
I mean, how long would it... I suppose that the good thing about packing in a lot of jokes is you can collect them from all over your year and the stuff that works. Is this a kind of best of Mad Ron?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all the bits that fit together on a kind of a theme, really. So it's crime school, and basically I looked at everything that I wanted to put into a material-wise and thought, well, it's very much lecture-y, very much a sort of a lecture.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, if I can just tweak a few bits and pieces, put it onto the theme of a school day, if you like.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But then there was also a bit of a get-out as well, because you have to give your Edinburgh show name in, God knows, about 1973, I think I gave mine.
Correct.
And so the title's called Crime School, but there's a get-out where it's Crime's Cool. You see, if I didn't like the name of the crime school, there was the option of
I cannot
switching.
help feeling that there's going to be some Morningside parents group campaigning outside to have, you know, crime's cool, you're corrupting our young. But do you, I mean, Matt was saying, it's not, you know, 100% an enjoyable whoop-de-doo or in Edinburgh again, let's have fun experience. Do you enjoy doing the 1 hour Edinburgh show?
Yeah, very much so, yeah. There's different challenges. Each audience is different. There's some, you know, strange dynamic at times where audience come in and they don't react how they would normally react in a club circuit.
Yeah.
And it's like you get a touristy effect. So people aren't necessarily there for a comedy show.
Yeah.
They're there to see something as a tourist.
Yes.
And then you've got to try and work
like
out...
Like Edinburgh Castle or Mad Ron.
Yeah.
Let's do Mad Ron.
That was full. Yeah.
Yes.
So they've done that and they've come in and the dynamic is slightly different, but you've got to work with what's in front of you, haven't you? You've got to try and make that work. And then at the end of a month, you're a better comedian because of it, because you know how to play different audiences.
Yeah, I think that's a great attitude, and it's a great thing to get out of Edinburgh, because it's true, there is no place else you're going to go and get such disparate audiences. Even though some of them will be disparate in a way that is, this is not very good, I don't understand it, we have better comedians in France. But it is the way you can, you know, squeeze the pips out of Edinburgh and get something out of it, rather than this misbegotten idea that you wander along, somebody from ITV sees you, and you're Michael McIntyre. It didn't happen that way for Michael McIntyre. It doesn't happen that way for anybody. What do you get out of Edinburgh, apart from a wonderful month with your missus?
Again, it's all about the show. It doesn't matter how big your poster is, any of that stuff. You know, and this is nice, don't get me wrong as well, but honestly, the only thing that counts really is the show and making people laugh to the best of your ability, and that's it. That's what it's about. Anyone who's got an ounce of heart, who really wants to be a comic, it's all about that. Because you can gig, I don't know, maybe realistically, I could do about 6 10-minute spots a day if I wanted to. Any more than that, that's pushing it too much, right? So I can go out at midday, probably about that time, like you could die on your ass. And it's not that you don't care, but you can then walk to one an hour later and you've forgotten about it. So once you put it behind you, you get a better sense of perspective, you're a lot more relaxed, you know, but ultimately it's about being better at your craft, and it takes a long time. The way I'm not being humble now, but look at someone like Morecambe and Wise, right? Back in the day. Look at all the great sort of comics from the 70s, forget their sensibilities. They all took 20 years before they got anywhere. Seriously, they were grey-haired
Absolutely.
before they did it, because they some of them started in the north, where you didn't have an awful lot of time. You were either funny or you weren't, mate. And that's it. And you know, we're standing on the shoulders of giants in many ways, and that's not humble, but that's what the art form is.
Have you ever played like a Glasgow club? I mean, like a working man's club?
Not done Glasgow, but around the country. I seem to go down very well in the North Midlands, around there, no matter what the environment is. You go to some quite seemingly rough places, and it seems to work really well.
But audiences there are honest.
Yeah. If it's funny, it's funny.
If it's
that's
correct.
the judgment, and they judge it by laughing. That's good.
So you're doing a crime school. What kind of things will we learn? I mean, we're talking violence here?
No, just little tricks to get through life, really. And,
cool.
How to get 8 pints for £5.60.
Oh my! In Edinburgh in August.
Yeah.
Okay, now that in itself would be worth the entry price to your show.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, I can see it now. And yours is another wonderful, fabulous, engaging yet hilarious story show.
That's exactly how I would describe it.
And when are you on? Just
so 10:35, the box in George Square.
In the evening, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Matt? 6:20 at the Caves.
That sounds like the perfect evening. Matt's banger, and the introduction to how to get 7 pints for £5.60.
8.
68. I can't think of a better evening. I'm going to book now.